What's up, everybody? And today we are talking about Ghost of Yotei. It took me 40 hours to beat this game, and it is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, which is one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game of all time. And I gotta say, after those 40 hours, this game is better in every single way except for the story. Now, I want to save all the negatives for last, so let's start off with the positives. This game is absolutely gorgeous. I found myself so many times, whether it's the opening, climbing on Mount Yotei, or just like traveling throughout the world, of just like stopping and just like absorbing like everything that I'm looking at. I played it in I forget, there's like a balance mode where it's like, all right, we're going to give you like ray tracing and we're going to give you performance, which I do a little bit of both. So I played on that mode. I played on just the base PS5. I don't have a Pro. And this game is just stunning. I felt like there were so many times I was just like, wow, like life is beautiful. And I'm playing, a video game with a fake, world. But I think it also helped that this game is so gorgeous, because I think I felt so many times when I'm like staring out at the many views that this is just kind of nice for Atsu to just like take a breath from the revenge story that she's on. If you haven't played this game, or you haven't heard of it, or you just don't know what like the general idea is, Atsu, when she was a little girl, her family got murdered, and the Yotei 6, the people that did this to her, pinned her to a tree and set the tree on fire and kind of left her for dead. She managed to escape, grew up to be a badass, and came back for revenge, and this is her revenge story. Now, a lot of people were apprehensive about having a new protagonist, with Jen being gone this time. We are now replacing with a new character, not only a new character, but she's a woman, so, people got things to say. But I gotta say, after, spending a bunch of time with her, I like Atsu. She is not Jin. She is kind of the opposite of Jin in the way of that she is more of a mercenary or a Ronin, bounty hunter, whatever you want to call her. She's like, her first throwable is pocket sand. All right, so she's not playing by the rules. She's win. This is a street fight for her every fight. So I like that about her. It makes sense why, you watch your whole family die and you become a badass and you come back. It's like, yeah, of course she wants revenge. Like, I would want revenge too, shit. So yeah, I was totally on board with her. I understand that, this is a new character. And again, I love Jin. But I think this also originally worked because I think this game takes like 300 years in the future. So it was like, oh, they could always go back to Jin if they wanted to. So kind of leaves it open. But anyways, I like Atsu. I like the way that she is. Let's kind of get into combat, because that's kind of where I wanted to go. She is more of a bounty hunter, street fighter like type, and with samurai style, like a Ronin. So again, she got the pocket sand. Instead of the different stances to take out your enemies, she has different weapons. I don't know if you guys want spoilers for that, but she has different weapons that you can use, but it's still that like rock, paper, scissors style. Like, you're fighting this person, you use this. You're fighting this person, you use that. But what I found more fun in this game, just with that same system, just sticking to those weapons, was the fact that like you are able to take out whatever group you're fighting with just one weapon, even if it's like, all right, this one's just meant for the big dudes. Like, I found myself still able, especially like once you start upgrading everything, to be like, no, I can take everyone out with just this. So sometimes that's what I do, is I run into people and I'm like, I'm just going to use this, even though it's only meant for this specific case. I'm going to do this. And then when I was doing like duels, that's when it's like, okay, I'll do the rock, paper, scissors of like, okay, I'm going to use this to do this, this to do that. This game is still like the first game where like once you get everything, it's like you have a plethora of ways to combat any situation. There's also the added benefit of disarming. So you can get disarmed, which is always threw me off anytime it happened. You can also disarm people. She can throw things. I mean, put her in the league, man. She's a pro. So you can like pick up, you knock someone's sword out of their hand, you pick it up, you can yeet it. And when you're like walking around camps and stuff, there'll be random weapons that you can just kind of pick up and then throw at people. So yeah, the combat is, I found to be way more fun in this game than I did in the original game. So visual is great, combat's great. In terms of exploring the world, I mean, there again with the views, there's so many times where I'm like riding my horse and it's like, okay, I see smoke over there. There's this red tree that's like standing out. One of those little birds is flying by and it's like, okay, you want to leave me somewhere, little buddy? Let's go. And so there's so many incentives to stop and just be like, what's going on over here? And this is, again, an open world game. So, the more you explore, it's like, all right, cool. My health's going up. My spirit's going up. I found a new sword, So so much time was sunk into just exploring everything. And when it comes to open world games, me personally, what I like to do is just upgrade myself, do a story mission, upgrade myself. But this one, I found myself, I feel like the first 30 hours I just upgraded myself and then I kind of like blasted through the story. Especially because, your whole goal is to take out the 6 people that did this to you. I felt like by the time I took out the second dude, I was pretty much fully upgraded. So you can see how I play. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't really feel like upgrading anymore. So I'm just going to, get right to it. So yeah, I think the world is kind of begging you to be like, hey, there's stuff over here. Like, come look. Another thing that's cool is like you can make camp. So you can give yourself kind of like buffs, recharge your spirit when you do that, and some other stuff. So when you make camp, sometimes like a random villager would be like, hey, you mind if I like sit next to your campfire? Or, some of the merchants or whatever will just be like, hey, I was in the area, like I got some new stuff. You want to come check it out? So it just felt like the world was more lived in. I know one of the last times I was playing, I was like randomly riding and I accidentally hit a tripwire that I didn't see. And then a bunch of dudes tried to jump me because I had a bounty on me. So they were like, yeah, we're going to take that. Of course, they didn't get it. But it just felt so awesome. And again, almost incentivized to just be like, just take your time, see what's out there. There's so much to do in this game, which feels like, I know some people open worlds are like, I don't want to do that. And again, if you didn't like the first game, this one's definitely not for you. It's just more of the same, but like better. But yeah, I just think if you enjoy the first one, like you'll definitely enjoy the first one, or definitely enjoy this one. Duh. Again, this game is a lot of the first game. If you finished or played a lot of the first game, you can pretty much hop in and be like, okay, cool, I get it. Like, this is how I block. This is, you do this, the standoff. This is how I assassinate people. So if you're one of those people, because I know I heard online, like some people were like, I found the first game to kind of get repetitive after a while. Like, I feel like this one is better, but it's not so far of a departure that you're going to feel like you're playing a different game. It's just like an enhanced version. It's just like a better sequel, essentially. But again, I do have some issues with the game, so I want to get into that. My first one is, and I don't know what it is about Sucker Punch, but they do this sometimes, is the touchpad. They're like, oh, you want to upgrade your weapon? Let's do a little flashback where you're like banging the steel and you gotta flip it over. Oh, it's not hot enough. Put it back in the fire. Like, oh my God. And then when you're making a fire for your camp, you gotta like, you gotta set the sparks off and then you gotta press the button to like blow the air to make the fire go. Oh, you want to cook your fish? You gotta turn the controller, press circle, flip the fish over, make sure you don't burn it. And it's like, it's stupid. Take this out. And the thing about it is, like, as soon as it pops up, even the first time, you can hold X and then just skip it. So, like, even they were like, you don't have to kind of do this part. So it's like, why not just take it out? It reminds me of the Spider-Man games when they're like, oh, you're Peter, you want to do science stuff because Peter loves science. Like, here's a little science puzzle. It's like, no. I'm here to be Spider-Man. I'm here to be a Ronin, slicing people up. Don't make me fucking flip the fish, all right? I don't know why it's in there. Take that shit out. Every time it popped up, I was like, get this out of here. They did that in Infamous Second Son, so I was like, did y'all not? But I swear there wasn't too many things or any of this in the first one. So I was like, why would you add this? This is stupid. That being said, another issue I have is Atsu off for revenge. We're murdering people. She got more skills with like weapons and stuff with Jin. Again, we got pocket sand, so all holds bar, no holds bar. She's out to kill. There are so many times when you're fighting people, you'll fight a bunch of dudes. You get to the last one, she'll trip them, and then be like, "What do you know about this person?" They'll be like, "Oh, I heard that he hangs out at this bar," or something like that. And then she'll be like, "Get out of here." And then that person runs away. And you can't kill them. There's no like, do you want to like spare them or do you want to kill them? She just does this. Again, it took me 40 hours to beat this game. There are probably like 100 dudes that I let go because the game wanted me to. But again, I'm murking fools left and right. So I was like, why is she letting so many people go when her whole story is that she's almost blinded revenge? It didn't make any sense. I don't know from a developer perspective why you would keep that in the game. It just felt really weird, especially not to give me an option, because I'm like, if it were me, I ain't leaving nobody's behind. All right, this dude got a whole army. Everyone's gotta go. So that didn't sit with me right. But the biggest thing for me is the story. And something I noticed, because I've really been thinking about it while I was playing. The first game, every time you're introduced to a new person, you have you do their side story, so you get to know them. And then you can do more of their side quests to get to know them more, see how the invasion of the mongrels is infecting them, get some of their past, and see where they're kind of going. And so I can tell you, like, oh, Sensei Ishikawa had like a apprentice who was kind of like his daughter, and you had the other guy whose name I'm blanking on, but he was like kind of a piece of shit, and he sold beer all the time, or sake. But like every time you did a side quest, he was kind of doing a good thing. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm getting to know everyone. This game, I couldn't tell you, aside from two characters that they like clearly were like, we got to put all the story into these two. The rest of them are just like, here's this merchant. Here's this merchant. This is the sword guy, and this is this person, and blah blah blah. And so you have this page where it's like your wolf pack, and all of them are just generic. And I'm like, I don't know why we doubled the cast to then give them no time for me to get to know anybody. Like, I couldn't really tell you anything about any of them other than it's like, well, this person used to know my dad. Okay. Like, all right, cool. And we're again in the first game, you're seeing Lady Moscow fucking lose her mind because her whole family got murked. His not caretaker. I'm blanking on the word right now, but the lady that took care, his nanny essentially was like low key like fucking his dad. It was like in the first game. I was like, oh, okay, see, but like in this one, I'm like, I don't know, the guy one, guy two. So I thought that was really weird. When it came to the actual story of the game, I felt like, well, okay, there's one plot twist I was like, oh, okay, it actually took me off guard. I didn't see that coming. But the other plot twist, I was like, saw that coming from a mile away. I felt it was really telegraphed. The kind of story that she was going on, I imagined to end one of two ways. And it's like, I doubt they're going to do the darker ending. So I imagine that they wanted to do the lighter ending. And so it was like, okay, I kind of saw that coming. There was another plot twist at the end of the game that was like, saw that coming too, kind of telegraphed that. And so when it came to Atsu's story, I was like, I've kind of seen this before. Like, I like you. I like your backstory. The characters that they actually give time for, I like them too. But like, there was nothing that really stood out to me as being like, man, I can't wait to play this one again. Whereas the first one, I felt like I liked Jin's story so much because it was like, hey, I was raised to be this person and now I have to be this person. And this is going against everything that my uncle / adopted father has raised has raised me to be. So now we're like cutting, like they're gonna butt heads eventually. Where this one's just like, I mean, I can't spoil it, but this one's just kind of like, all right, she's out for revenge, no holds bar. Like, where could that go? You know what I mean? And so, as I finished this story, I was just kind of like, okay, and I found myself as I kept playing this game being like, man, I wish I could take Jin and all of his story and then just give me all the good parts of this game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Take the story of the first one and then just give me everything from this game. Which sucks because I like Atsu and I like the characters that we actually get to know, but there was just like not enough for me to be like, I want to play this one again. And it feels like kind of like the Spider-Man games where it's like, sure, the second one there's more to do and it's, there's better side quests and yada yada, but like I'd rather replay the first one. And with Sucker Punch, this feels like going from Infamous 2 to like Second Son, where it's like I'd rather play Infamous 2 any other day, even though Second Son is like technically better in a lot of levels. Like Infamous 2 is better. So as I sit with this one, I'm just like, yeah, I think I'd rather just replay the first one for like the 10th time rather than playing this one again. Granted, when they drop New Game Plus, which I imagine will come out with Legends when it drops early next year, I will play the story again one more time. Maybe I'll feel different about it then. But yeah, I just story didn't hit for me. So in conclusion, again, this game is an 8 out of 10. I think this game is better in every single way except for the story. Beautiful, action's awesome. So much to do in this game. But yeah, I just didn't connect with Atsu's story, even though I like her and the people that were actually fleshed out. So take all of that with a grain of salt, if you will, or I don't know. Let me know what you think about this game in the comments down below. I'm interested to see which game people like better. So yeah, let me know which one. Do you like Tsushima better? Do you like Yotei better? What's something you think might be missing from the game? Or whatever. Just let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you next time. Peace.